So what I want to do is I just want to have each group kind of stand up, tell us what your task was, and list off your thoughts and why you put those down. So we'll go ahead and start out with you guys and gals over here. Quiet, please. So what was your task?
Okay, our task was to make a list of sources that would made the American dream to you, or to us. And so we came up with a list as follows.
Parents, teachers, media, leads.
Chill.
One at a time, please. If you could just kind of list it and then give me why you thought that, real quick, just a quick explanation.
Parentals.
Parentals, well, because they talk about American dream because they can pass down a story through like oral talking to each other. Teachers, they teach us. Media through newspapers. Leaders like presidents, books that we read, internet. Find a lot of stuff, role models. Historical figures, we talked about Jackie Robinson for one.
Okay.
Soldiers, policemen, women,
police officers is the correct
officers.
That's what it was.
Peace officers.
Church and religion.
officers of the
Fire
peace.
officers?
So,
Okay. Can anyone else think of someone that that might be added to that list?
Someone.
Views.
Definitely me.
Religious.
Cameron. Historical figures / Cameron.
Religious leaders.
Nope.
Religious leaders. Okay. I think they had religion and stuff there. All right, let's go ahead and move on over here.
All right.
That's amazing.
Make sure no one sees that. We have how does literature, art, media reflect and influence a culture? And our task was to make a list of as many movies, songs, books, etc. that told the story of the American dream. So we went with Pursuit of Happiness.
Spelled with Y, you know.
Yeah, it is.
What?
It's spelled with a Y. It's spelled with a Y.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen the movie, so I didn't realize
Oh, it's
that.
really good.
I don't like movies that are inspiring.
Okay, we're running out of time.
Cinderella Man, John Q, Gangs of New York, anything Jimmy Stewart made. Not
What Jimmy Stewart movies? Does anyone know any Jimmy Stewart movies that they're referring to here?
What's it? Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, absolutely. Has anyone seen It's a Wonderful Life?
Yes.
Oh.
That's a big one, right?
Not anything written by Steinbeck. We should throw a book in there, but I couldn't remember anything, so I went with the opposite. That Mark Wahlberg movie where he gets drafted by the Eagles, which we found later was Invincible. Annie, Un-American Tale, and Miracle.
And Field of Dreams.
See,
Thank you.
So a lot of sports movies in there, though,
We
right? I mean, in their
They
list.
wanted to kick me out
But
of
we
the
didn't
group.
really.
no,
we
kick
kicked
you out of the group for Airbud.
She actually.
So a lot of what's a common theme in a lot of those? Okay, a lot of these movies that they listed are sports movies, right? And what is the common theme then? The Cinderella story,
Yeah.
the underdog story.
Not the Air Bud story, okay?
Hey, that's proud.
I think you should
Does that also go back to kind of the rebirth type theme?
We had to talk about specific characteristics of America that embodied and enabled this dream to manifest in the beginning, which we didn't actually do. But
Did you say? Read the very first part.
oh, but how do geographic and economic circumstances affect your culture? So, in the past, when we first came to America, we had.
So how did you interpret this question?
What was available in the United States before we came here that made people want to come?
That made it possible to
Be successful.
be successful here. Which we had fertile land, so we were able to grow different crops. Diversity of biomes, which all the different regions that we have, like the plains and the mountains, and that give us all
So
different
let's go back to
resources.
I just want to clarify here with the fertile lands. What helped the American dream grow out of fertile lands? Like what?
You grow crops and then
Okay,
you can
so
sell
we're
them.
talking economic opportunity here. Okay. So diversity of biomes.
Yeah.
How is that incorporated into this American dream?
Well, for instance, like the redwood forest, they could have lumber.
It provided us with different resources to be able to make homes and
Okay. So growth of population, it allowed for people to just kind of go into these diverse areas, whichever.
there were buffalo.
Buffalo? Okay, no, but this was very important for the American dream. And in what phase of American history?
Native settlers.
How come mine is written twice on your
That's the scientific name.
Bison.
Oh,
It's
bison.
bison.
Is it really?
Yes, we talked about that a lot.
That's good.
Okay, the buffalo definitely factors into the whole rugged individualism, the hunter, the
Materialism.
materialism, absolutely, the trade that's possible. Again, economic opportunity available.
Yep.
Because you can't in England. Could you do the same thing? Could you just go like hunt deer on random land or something like that and sell the fur?
Right.
No, absolutely not.
And then you can trade with people to get what you want. And our example was trade with coats.
But anyone else have any thoughts on about this particular question? What was your question again, ladies?
Our question was a list of specific characteristics that embodied and enabled the dream to manifest, geographic and economic.
What about, let's go back to Cameron. I know you were a history buff here. What is manifest destiny?
It's the belief that we have basically the right, and that it's almost God's will that the white people take over all of America. That was basically the belief in the time it was created.
Okay. Can anyone see why, what specifically about America enabled this manifest destiny to...
In fact, we had no organized opposition really. Like there was just a lot of land and there was no other powers that could stop us.
Okay. So that in that way, that space, the nature, the geography of America contributed to the building of this dream, this opportunity, this feeling of opportunity, of destiny that everyone had, right? Okay. And our final question here. Sorry, guys.
How do beliefs and values provide a society's identity? Think critically and make a list of the functions of the American dream. In other words, why do we continue to tell this story? What does it do for the American people or the American culture?
What do we have?
So on the positive light, we have the fact that it gives hope to everyone, and we kind of, we'll come it out later, but it also kind of negatively leads to social conformity because you have to follow the set norms of the society if you want to succeed. Like, if you want to be uber successful and you're not born into a rich family, you have to go through the educational process, and for the most part. There are random stories that don't, but for the most part you do. It perpetuates a competitive nature, which is kind of selfish, but it's still, they wanted that individual success.
Okay.
Most that.
Absolutely. They made a lot of good points there, guys, and we're actually going to, unfortunately, due to time restraints, we're not going to be able to really go into depth because I think that they brought a lot of really interesting points up. But I just wanted to use this whole discussion as a jumping off point, okay? We're going to cover a lot of American history here, okay? And the major theme across the entire year is going to be the American dream, okay? So we're going to start out earlier looking at the earlier American writers and what they saw as the promise of America, what they found as beautiful, what they thought it was horrifying, what they thought was genius, what they thought was completely stupidity, idiocy in American culture, in American ideology, in their values and everything. We're gonna watch the American dream from its conception to its growth, and finally we're gonna analyze what it is today, what it means today, what role that the American dream plays in our culture. So I want you all to kind of think about this. We're going to do a journal entry this evening. I just want you to kind of put down, if you can right now, we won't actually do this, but I want you to write down a couple things that really stuck out to you from this discussion today to help you write more fluently tonight with a better recall.